What have I been saying? I don't care if they're Democrats or Republicans, whether they're my friends or whether they're my foes. You follow the money, and it'll lead to most answers involving political corruption. And oh boy, Eric Adams, swagger man with no plan, who wears $5,000 customized suits every day, not off the rack. Where do you get the money for those customized suits? I know Frank Carone gave him a gift of $350,000. That's illegal. Yeah, that's illegal. Well, what's illegal between friends, right? Yeah, friends of Eric Adams, all of those who contributed to his election the first time. Boy, what a mistake that has been for the city. And all those who continue to contribute as, believe it or not, Eric Adams, swagger man with no plan as this city just slips into the abyss, is holding fundraisers after fundraisers for his re-election effort over my dead body. But people are lining up with wheelbarrows full of money, especially those who want those juicy, big, fat contracts to be able to house the illegals, provide services to the illegals, and do it under the cover of the mayor who has declared a state of emergency in response to the illegal alien crisis that he has created himself. And now there's little, if any, transparency because it all comes under the cover, not of shelters, not of services provided singularly to the illegals, but under the humanitarian emergency response and relief centers. Every time that my wife Nancy goes on a deep dive, try to find out how much we're being ripped off for, they've got to redact it. Because it's not listed as a shelter, it's not listed as hotel, notels, Holiday Inn Expresses any longer. They're listed as humanitarian emergency response and relief centers. And friends of Eric Adams are making money hand over fist, millions of dollars because they're getting the contracts. And it's all due to the generosity of Eric Adams, the Papa Chulo of illegal aliens, the guy who stood at the Port Authority when the first buses rolled in from Texas and said, "Who's your daddy?" And it's been the gravy train ever since for the illegal aliens.
Let's have immediate translation services to assist that people can have access to the services that are already available. We have to expand NYC Care to make sure everyone has health care. We need to make sure we have proper translation services in our schools so that we can start building out the future as well.
We are going to fulfill our moral and legal obligation to house everyone that enters New York City. That is what we have done, and that is what we will continue to do.
Yeah. And in fact, we have 188 emergency migrant shelters that are being bankrolled by us, the sucker taxpayers of New York City, and a number of no-tell, motel hotels that cost a fortune to lease. And then, of course, there are those that are categorized under the humanitarian emergency response and relief centers, which means that all the information is redacted from us. In fact, remember the battle cry of Eric Adams when he was first sworn into office as a state senator in the year 2000 in Albany.
Show me the money. Show me the money. That's what it's all about.
So understand how Eric Adams operates, and most officials, whether they're Republican or Democrat. It's always show me the money. Can I hear that one more time? The very first public statement made by the newly elected state senator of Bed-Stuy, Crown Heights at that time in 2000. State Senator Eric Adams in the well of the state Senate in Albany before family, friends, other state senators, and lots of lobbyists and the media. But the lobbyists were there licking their chops because they knew that Eric was subject to being bribed, wined, dined, and pocket lined.
Show me the money. Show me the money. That's what it's all about.
So as we're taking in 2,500 illegals a week, sometimes more, the expenses are mounting up. As an example, New York City is spending $69 million alone on one private firm to staff the immigrant shelters. And you say to yourself, wow, who is this firm, Lou and Justin? One firm getting $69 million, and there's no vetting process, there's no bidding process. Gee, well, how good could this firm be? Well, as Nancy Sliwa of the Sliwa Wrecking Crew has done her deep dive as any attorney, we see that the $69 million has gone to this essay. You ever hear that term, Justin, in the movies? Essay, amigo, hombre, essay. It's a perfect name for a company that's dealing with illegal aliens who view Eric Adams as their essay. $69 million to the Essay Group, LLC. Always LLC to cover up who the actual owners and operators are so that they won't get swept up in investigations. So the city is ready to pay $69 million to this Essay Group, LLC to provide temporary staffing at its sanctuary sites, according to the Department of Homeless and Department of Social Services. Hopelessly corrupt right down to the marrow of their bone. They're all corrupt there. Yes, City Hall, go ahead. Call upstairs to our bosses and our owners and operators and tell them you want me fired, you want me suspended, you want me to make an apology. Hey, you can kiss my collective two cheeks on my toches. Formed in 2012, can we go through, Justin, the litany of the different names that this corporation has had in order to avoid lawsuits and other problems? In 2012, it was called On Call Counsel. Then the name in 2015 was changed to the Tempositions Group of Companies. Then in 2016, the name was changed again to the Tempositions Opus Company. Then in that same year, it was changed to Opus Staffing. Then in 2023, it was changed to TCG Search. And now it falls under the banner of Essay Group, LLC, a bunch of crooks. Come on. You tell me a corporation that's had 6 different name changes, and I'll tell you that reminds me of guys and gals who used to not pay the rent, and then on Friday night, they do the bird. You know, you'd show up on Monday, and all the furniture was cleaned out of their apartment. And these are grifters. And now we're going to do the deep dive. Every one of these corporations that's making money by providing the ancillary services to the illegal aliens that you as a citizen don't even get. The homeless, the emotionally disturbed, the veterans who are American born and raised, who may be down on their luck, who may have a problem controlling their mental or physical faculties. They get bupkis, they get ugats, they sleep in the streets, the subways, they sleep on park benches. Just go to the recent video that I did. You can see it on my social networking. You can go to WABC. It's been posted there on the social networking. It's un disgraziata. It's a shanda. These are black people. These are the people who elected Eric Adams. But there's no money to be made from them. No, the money is in the illegal aliens. Can I hear his battle cry again? This is how Eric Adams and City Hall operates. It's City Hall for sale.
Show me the money. Show me the money. That's what it's all about.
So I'm calling out City Hall. What the hell is this? $69 million to the Essay, Hombre, Amigo Group, LLC. What services are they providing? Why is it that since 2012 they've had 6 name changes? 6 name changes. What would that suggest? A little chaos, a little subterfuge, nefarious ways of doing business, trying to avoid being sued, trying to avoid paying your debts. You're damn right. And what's this nonsense that you now, every time you open up a house for the illegal aliens, it's called the Humanitarian Emergency Response and Relief Center under an emergency executive order so that you don't have to be transparent. You don't have to show your expenses. And the taxpayers, we have to just keep paying this outrageous amount of money for the non-Americans. And yet for the Americans who are poor, impoverished, indigent, who have a whole group of physical and mental health issues, They're forced to live in the subways, live in the streets, live in the parks. This is Eric Adams, New York City. He has forsaken our people. He has embraced illegal aliens because that's where the money is.